Welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play through some cool Pico 8 games to show to you lovely people. Today's video is a very special one. It's my best of the year, end of the year, best of 2024, end of 2024, wrap up the year video list video, where I play through 10 of the best Pico 8 games that I played on the channel this year, plus 3 honorary mentions. Links to play these games are included in the description down below. There's also going to be timestamps in the video down below. So if you want to keep yourself in suspense and you want to try and guess what games I've picked, don't look in that description just yet. I'm going to be playing through the games in alphabetical order, so this isn't in order of how good I think the games are, it's just alphabetical. There'll also be a link to a playlist of the games on itch. Now, I don't think all of the games this year are available on itch, but all the ones that I can find, I'm going to make into a playlist on there, which you can go and check out as well. This is the part of the video where I usually say that 2024 has been an incredibly strong year for Pico 8, but it's pointless because every year is like this. So let's move on to the trends that I've noticed in Pico 8 games this year. Some of these are actually similar to the ones last year. Who'd have thought it? The first trend that I want to highlight is the incredible quality of shmups on Pico 8. This year and last, thanks in part to Christman and his Laser Devs Academy video tutorial series on making an advanced shmup, plus the Discord community around that series, the Laser Devs Academy Discord. Thanks to that community, we have had some incredible shmups released on Pico 8. I'm going to be highlighting some of those in my list. That gives you some hints as to which ones I might be playing. Yeah, there's some incredible shmups on Pico 8. If you like shmups, you're in the right place. My next trend is a new one. This year I noticed quite a few soccer band style games and match 3 games. So kind of action, kind of puzzle games, which is really nice to see because Pico 8 is really well suited to little puzzle games, especially kind of simple kind of soccer band games and that sort of thing. Pico 8's graphics and the simple controls of Pico 8 really lend themselves well to the genre, and it's nice to see some good puzzle games. And lastly, once again, it's nice to see that there are still Pico 8 games being released commercially. Last year, we had a couple of games that I think were released on Steam. That's continued this year, but this year it's even better because now we've got one of these games which has actually been released on the Switch, which is just crazy. I can't believe that there are Pico 8 games now on the Switch. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get on to my honorary mentions. Yes, we're in the grey folder of Doom, the best of 2024 folder. And look, I've changed all the names of the games so that you can't see what's coming up. So if you do want to play along, don't click on that description and try and work it out. We're going to start with the honorary mentions. So these games were not made in 2024, but this was the year that I discovered them, basically. There are so many games coming out on Pico 8. It's very easy for some games to get lost in the shuffle. That can be on Splore, it can be on itch as well. These games came out, 2 of them were from 2022, 1 of them was from 2023, and for whatever reason, I missed them at the time, and apparently quite a lot of other people did as well. In the meantime, they have been featured on Splore. Zep often features games from a year or 2 ago that he kind of finds that he likes. And yeah, they're really good games, and that's why I'm having them in my honorary mentions list. So let's move on to the first one, which is the Carpathian. Let's get this one loaded up because this is such a good way to start my list. Oh, this title screen. Yes, there are going to be a lot of high quality title screens in this list, of course. The Carpathian by Trog is a wonderful action Castlevania single screen platformer thing. This title screen is brilliant. Let's get into the game. Oh, yes, we are definitely playing ourselves a Castlevania style game here. So each level is a chamber with a few enemies that we have to attack with our throwing daggers. Yes, this is instantly recognizable to anyone who's played a Castlevania game. What I like about this game is I love the twist of it being a kind of single screen platformer. It works so well. The style of the game is quite action packed, it's quite fast and arcadey, it's quite challenging, I might add. And yeah, it just works so well gameplay wise. The graphics are really nice, really evocative of kind of classic Castlevania style graphics. You'll notice lots of very familiar Castlevania enemies make their appearance, like these kind of zombie hags. We've got bats, we've got mummies, we've got all sorts of things. The game is quite challenging. I'll try and show you as much as I can, but I've not got that far in this game. I'm guessing the end boss is a vampire. The furthest I get to is just after the mummy boss, or mummies bosses. But anyway, this is an incredible arcade game, very much worth a look. The action is really crisp, the controls are really nice, and as I've said, the graphics, the animation, all of the presentation is just really good. Look how fast it plays as well. Such a fun little arcade game. My second honorary mention is Don't Dig Up the Dead by Brian Vaughan, also known as Morning Toast. This is a kind of horror adventure game. Let's give it a look. This got featured around Halloween time, which is not surprising, and I love that little creepy voice at the start there. Really sets the mood for this game. This is a horror game. It's really creepy, and yeah, there's some really cool glitchy effects here. So we start off in a very familiar Pico 8 looking overworld here. We are this little stick man, well animated I must say, and we have got to explore this forest. The chest is locked. You need to have a key. Yes, there are items in this game. There's a little bit of item management, and our task is, if we go and talk to this man here, thank goodness you're here. Sleepers are roaming free and they're angry. This forest was once a landfill that was made on top of a graveyard. Great premise for a horror film. When will these people ever learn to stop building things on top of the graveyards, the burial grounds? Not a good move. We have to look for 3 magic relics to defeat the sleepers forever. I'm not going to be able to do that because this game is quite challenging, but you can give it a look when you play the game for yourself. Go and check that link. We have a findometer and we have to explore the forest. So once we are into the game, we can explore the forest area. We have got a findometer, which you can see down at the bottom there, that little dial, and that shows us how close we are to an item that we can then dig up. And remember, the goal is not to dig up the dead. So let's dig up here and see what we get. There's the inventory. I'm pressing the wrong button. Yeah, you've got an inventory in this game. You can only hold so many items, and each item kind of boosts your stats a little bit, which becomes more important as we progress. Let's get digging. You dug up a rusty key. Fantastic. The rusty key lets us open the chest. So at this point, I could wander back to that chest. You'll notice though that it's also released a spirit. For now, I'm going to avoid that spirit because I want to use my rusty key and see what I can find. So let's go back to this chest. We'll use our key and find a pickaxe. You can now dig holes faster. Fantastic. So yeah, we've got a really nice kind of game loop in this. We explore around, we keep an eye on the findometer, and we've got to avoid the dead. Now, I will hopefully get to show you one of the battles that we have with the dead, because, oh, it's glorious. It's so glitchy and weird. I love it. Let's dig up here. We've got another rusty key. So, yeah, I need to find some chests. I've dug up the dead. So when we dig up the dead, we get into this kind of fairly simplistic shoot 'em up section where we've got to defeat this terrifying, glitchy kind of spirit, which is firing all kinds of fireballs at us. As we get further into the game, we'll encounter different attack patterns. I love this because this is kind of really reminiscent of one of those kind of really weird old Atari shmup games, especially with the weird glitchy graphics. As we damage the spirit a little bit more, you can see the attack patterns get a little bit more challenging. It does get kind of bullet helly, but this shmup stuff, it's not too bad. And look how weird it is. So after all of that, I've dug up a calculator. Fantastic. You can see at the bottom there that it boosts some stats, it lowers some others. You can kind of keep track of that, but to be honest, you can have quite a lot of fun in this game, not really paying too much attention to the stats. However, I'm sure if you want to do well in this game, you do need to see what these items are doing. This is a wonderful little horror adventure game, and there's so many weird kind of glitchy graphics. The kind of overall aesthetic kind of reminds me of a kind of old kind of 8-bit Atari game, which is just what you want on a Pico 8 game, and it's yeah, it's especially horrifying. All the transition effects like that are really cool, and yeah, very atmospheric music as well. I believe it's some of Gruber's music. We'll be seeing more of him later. On to the next game. My final honorary mention is a wonderful Metroidvania from 2023. It's Subsurface by Julian R. Let's get it loaded up. The title screen isn't anything to write home about. It's very basic. It gets the job done. We can either continue our existing game or start a new game. Let's do that. We're on the first screen here. This looks very Metroidvania, doesn't it? We've got a main character who runs around and is red and yellow, like a certain Metroidvania Samus type character. We can run, we can jump, and we can shoot. As you can see, there's a power-up over on the left there, which we can't get to. I wonder what possible ability we might need to unlock to get to that ability. I wonder. It's a Metroidvania, everyone. We've got double jumps and things. Each screen in this game, and what I think sets this game apart from other Metroidvanias, each screen in this game has a little bit of dialogue at the bottom. This kind of tells us a little story that we can kind of unfold as the game progresses. It's a really simple, really effective way, I think, of having a story in a game like this, which adds to the action and adds to the atmosphere, I think. There's some really nice particle effects in this game. Yes, it's particle effects, everyone. Mark that off your bingo cards. Yeah, there's some really nice particle effects in this game. Really nice little details and touches, which makes everything just feel that little bit more polished. And some nice sound effects as well. You can see we've got a familiar looking Metroid style enemy there. You can see there that we've got the text appearing, telling us our story. Now, as we progress through the game, it all becomes very kind of standard Metroidvania. We've got barriers which we need to unlock. We've got enemies which respawn each time we visit a new screen. It's the standard Metroidvania, but it's a great formula. It's a winning formula. It's what we're here to do. Now, this is something that I wasn't too sure of when I first played the game. What I've picked up there is a kind of unlock key thing. So the red barrier there is now gone because I've picked up the kind of orange, the red key there. You can see there's 3 more of them that I need to find. I think that was the blue one at the beginning, wasn't it? Keep an eye on that as you go through. Yeah, it's a really tight, really polished little Metroidvania, little platformer. Go and check it out. It's so much fun. The game has some really nice graphics. As you can see, we get into a few different areas that have got different kind of looks. There's a nice variety of enemies as well. Very Metroid feeling enemies. As you can see, these guys are they're kind of like spider type things, aren't they? Yeah, there's a really nice variety of enemies and locations, and lots to uncover, lots to explore. A great little Metroidvania, well worth checking out. With the honorary mentions out of the way, let's move on to the first item on my main list, which is Driftmania by Max Bees, a beautiful isometric racer. Let's get it loaded up. Oh, the music's good in this one. Yeah, this is a really fun little racing game. We've got a few options here. We can go to the garage where we can customize our car. It's all just decorative. Don't worry, there's no kind of Gran Turismo style unlocking and things. But the thing that we're really here to do is race. So let's load it up. Oh, I love that transition. The way that the game works then, we can unlock different tracks, which we do by setting times. It's a time trial style game. As you can see there, I haven't set any times yet on this save, so let's get into it then. When we get into the race, you can see we've got lovely arcade style handling. It's not a racing sim, this. It's definitely in the arcade racing kind of genre. Kind of handling wise, the game it most reminds me of is kind of Codemasters Micro Machine games, if you ever remember them. They were great. Yeah, it's kind of got a similar feel to that. The turning and the drifting, which I really should be using, by the way, the turning and the drifting, the handling of the car is really fun. Depending on what time you set, you earn yourself a medal, and the way that you unlock tracks is by unlocking medals. So I've only got a bronze medal there, and the next one I need to get is a silver at 40.55 seconds. Let's have a go at doing that, shall we? I'll try and be a little bit more skillful this time. So the trick is you need to use drifting. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah, the drifting's kind of important in this game. You'll have noticed as well that the game has a ghost feature. That's really good. It's a really nice addition to a time trial style game like this. It makes it really fun trying to beat your previous times, and you've got kind of got like a reference point as well. Anytime I've got a racing game and there's a ghost mode, that makes me happy. Amazingly, I managed to knock 7 seconds off that time there, giving me a silver medal. As you can see, I could go another 4 seconds to get the gold medal, but if I go back to the main menu, I love that transition. If I go back to the main menu, you see that I've unlocked a couple more tracks now, or one more track I should say. And as you can see, each track you unlock medals and that unlocks more. There's an absolute plethora of tracks in this game, and oh, that music's so good. Yeah, the handling is so much fun. The gameplay loop is really simple and effective. It's just a great little racing game. You need to check it out. Something that I think makes this game really stand out is the variety of the tracks and the different things that you get on the tracks. As you can see, we've got ramps. A little bit further around the corner, we've also got some turbo pads, which I completely missed there. But it's these little additions to the tracks which makes things really fun. It gives it a really fun arcade feel. Oh, those turbo pads are so much fun. Yeah, this is such a nice little arcade racer. You need to go and check it out. The next game on my list is a wonderful shmup by Loki Striker. It's ExTerra, everyone. Yes, this is the first shmup I'm going to be featuring on my list. There may be more. This is another shmup by Loki Striker. He got himself onto the list last year as well. Yeah, knocking it out of the park once again. Oh, I love the intro to this game. It's so good. It's got the warning there. It's got the awesome Splash logo. And then we get onto the title screen and we have some really, really nice music. Yes, this is a classic caravan style shmup. It's all about chasing those scores. I haven't set any scores on this yet because this is like a new save that I've made. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. Now, you can see there are two high score screens. There's one for modern and one for retro. The two different play styles give you slightly different kind of game mechanics. One of them's more retro styled, one of them is more modern. There's the credit screen, which you can pause and have a look at your leisure. I want to get into the game. So I'm going to stick to retro and just see where we get from that. That's it. That's the story there. We've got one little bit of text to kind of set the scene. Now, what I think is really special about this game, besides the absolutely wonderful shmup gameplay, it's kind of bullet helly, but what I think is really impressive about this game is the fact that it's only using like half of the screen. Most of the screen is taken up with a giant kind of heads-up display. It's a kind of portrait style shmup, which you don't really see on Pico 8 because of Pico 8's square screen. So this feels like it's Loki Striker just showing off the fact that you can squeeze all this gameplay into half of the screen. Yeah, to get a high score in this game, you need to be have lightning fast reflexes. You need to not do that, and you need to learn the enemy patterns, and you also need to learn the intricacies of the scoring system, which I have not done. What you can do though, without having to learn all of that, is just enjoy the incredibly crisp shmup gameplay. Oh, the bullet patterns, oh, they're challenging. I'm really struggling to make eye contact with you because when I'm trying to do these videos and I want to kind of, you know, look at the camera, I can't do that playing these shmups because as soon as you take your eye off the screen, you die. We've got a rapid fire mode, as you can see here. We've also got this interesting lock-on style attack, which is incredibly difficult to use, and I'm sure there's a really skillful way that you can use that. If you've played any games like Radiant Silvergun, for example, you'll be very familiar with how the lock-on works. I don't think I'm getting anywhere near unlocking the potential of that weapon because I'm really not that good at the game and I can't get close to enemies. Oh, there is some more text. As you can see, we've got a boss. The bosses in this game are absolutely brutal, and each one is accompanied with some rather threatening and ominous music. Let's try a lock-on. Does that do the trick? Not really, because I died. Yeah, you can tell what kind of a game this is just by these bullet patterns. Oh man, it is intense. ExTerra, everyone. It's such a difficult game for me to show you because it's quite hard. However, I have managed to set myself a rather measly high score there, so you can at least play this game for the first 3 times and set a score and feel like you're doing really well. I haven't really talked enough about what makes this game stand out, so I'll play one more game. Let's make it modern this time, and I'll try and kind of elaborate on why I think this is a good game rather than just reacting to the bullets on the screen. So yeah, the smooth scrolling of everything, the wonderful scrolling background, the parallax scrolling there, really nice to see. Oh, that was a bit fruity then. The order of the enemies, the kind of enemy formations are really well thought out. There's just the right level of challenge, I think. The game kind of, it starts you off fairly easy before things start to get really difficult, which is really nice to see. It's been a while since I last played this game, I'll be honest, but after a little bit of practice, you can fairly consistently get, you know, a fair way into the game. It's not too difficult. Don't make me put you off by showing you the atrocious gameplay that I'm capable of. Yeah, the difficulty I think is really well judged. The movement of the ship is so crisp. There's perfect collision. It's such a well-made little shmup. The different weapons are really fun. I particularly like the laser attack, which I think I just swapped out of. I've got the rocket at the moment, which I'm not as good at, but I think it is quite powerful. At the bottom, you can see there's some kind of charging up bar there, which will inevitably be related to the rather complex scoring system that these games always have to feature. If you're good at the game, you will unlock the intricacies of that. Yes, there is a lot of depth in this game as well. The enemy designs are really cool. I love the limited colour palette as well. The kind of red and white colour scheme of the enemies gives the game a really unique look. That was even worse that time, wasn't it? As you can see, it's multi-cart. I think the one of the carts is just the title screen with the gameplay in the actual main stage. It's so well presented. It's such a classic shmup. The next game on my list is a wonderful puzzle game originally made for Ludum Dare 55. It's Hot Wax by Remedy Vo. Let's get it loaded up. I have been playing this game a lot. I love it. Superficially, it looks like Tetris, but that's where the similarities end. The title screen has got a wonderful rendition of Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Always a good thing to see that in a game because it's so evil sounding. We've got a few different difficulties here. I'm going to show you it on normal difficulty. I have managed to complete all 3 of these difficulties, which was no mean feat and made me feel like an absolute puzzling god. Let's show you normal though to keep things nice and easy because I feel a little bit out of practice. Can we just say as well how stylish that little logo is there with the candle flickering there? So, superficially, this looks like Tetris. We have got very familiar looking tetromino shapes. However, they've all got these little kind of wicks at the end because they are actually candles. Our goal in this game is to light some candles to try and summon some kind of a demon. There's all sorts of evil goings on here. You can see the little pentagram over there. just to make things a little bit more evil, which I love to see. Love a bit of Satanism in my Pico 8 games. The name of the game is to light as many candles and keep the candles burning as long as we can so that we can summon this rather evil demon. As you can see, we have got these candle flames that kind of burn down the wax. This kind of continues, like each turn, each time we drop a block, the candles burn a little bit more. You can join blocks together to kind of spread the flame, and if blocks fall onto flames, they'll get snuffed out. So you have to kind of the planning ahead in this game is it's so difficult to explain what you have to do. The best way to learn is to just play the game, okay? It's so much fun. I can't believe that this was made for Ludum Dare in, what, 2 or 3 days, however long it was. It's so polished and it's so good. This little grey block that's falling down here is a kind of bomb. That will, once it's lit, that will explode after a turn and light quite a few candles for us and clear quite a few blocks for us. Very helpful. Now, rather joyously, when I went on Itch the other day, I saw a screenshot of the expanded version of this game. We're getting a full version of Hot Wax, which is fantastic. It doesn't look like it's made in Pico 8, which is understandable, but we are getting a full version of this game, so go and check that out in 2025. I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun to play. I love the graphics and the animation in this game. The way that the flames flicker, the lighting effect on the flames and the wisps of smoke that raise up, it's all very moody, very evocative. It's just great. You need to check out this game. One of the best puzzle games I've played on Pico 8. The best way to progress in the game that I found seems to be to have a long candle burning all the way down and then stacking candles at the side that kind of get lit as it burns down in kind of stages, so that you kind of have you always have a candle kind of burning and you can kind of spread the flame that way. The more flames you have burning at once, the more points that you get, and the quicker you will summon the evil demon. Now, I really want to be able to get to the end of the game to show you what happens when you do summon the demon, because it's so much fun. The closer you get to summoning the demon, the more the red pentagram with the evil eyes starts glowing, so you've always got an idea as to how well you're doing, which is really nice to see. As you get further into the game and things start getting more chaotic and faster, you will come to rely upon those bombs, because they start so many flames and they really help clear the screen. I really want to show you the end of the game because it's so cool when the demon does finally get summoned. I've managed to summon the demon, and as you can see, when that happens, the game crashes. It deliberately crashes, but it still crashes, and I think that's such a cool way of ending the game. Very neat way of ending a jam game as well. Yeah, Hot Wax, you need to check this one out. It's so good. The next game on my list is a wonderful action platformer by Smartolock. It is Oblivion Eve. Let's get this one loaded up. Oh, there's some good splash screens in the games this year, aren't there? The Smartolock experience. Yes, you need to play this game with a controller. It's allegedly possible on a keyboard, but I'm not insane and I'm using a controller. If you're doing this game on touchscreen, you are mental. So this game has got so much depth. It's insane how much game has been crammed into this game. We have got starting a new game, we have got training, we have got a tutorial, which I'm going to show you because it is quite helpful at showing the game mechanics. Tutorials are not easy to get into Pico 8 games because you just do not have the space in a Pico 8 cart to put a tutorial in most of the time. Most of the time you want to be using all of that space in the cart for the actual game. So it's brilliant to see a tutorial, and the game really benefits from it because there's a lot of, it's quite a complex game mechanically, there's a lot of depth to the combat. We need a tutorial. There's a lore section. We can actually unlock the lore in the game. Yeah, this game's heavily influenced, I think, by Dark Souls. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Blasphemous as well, if you played that. There's a high score screen, because of course there is. If we go to the credits, I'm going to get the plug-in here right now. I did the music for this game, which I'm really pleased to be able to say that. I'm really proud to have been a part of such a brilliant Pico 8 game. And no, I didn't just put it in the list because of my stupid music. It's a great game, okay? But yeah, if you like the music, thanks. Let's get into the tutorial then. Learn the basics and review our knowledge. So let's get into it then. Here we go. A tutorial. How often do we get these in Pico 8 games? So we can run around. We can jump down. We can attack. We can do lots of precision platforming style wall jumping. So we are very agile in the game. We can dash. Yes, it's kind of like Celeste. We can dash. When we dash, we are invincible. When we dash, we are... God damn it. When we dash, we are invincible. Here's what we've all come for, though. The combat. So, we have got many different attacks. If we hold the attack button with the direction key, we get all sorts of different moves, and that's how we're going to progress through the game. The combat system is really complex, really cool. I've played commercially released platformers like this, which have a less impressive combat system. So yeah, hats off to Smarterlock for this. Look, there's even a combo system as well. Crazy. Did I say that this game has deep combat mechanics? This game has deep combat mechanics. Yes, there's a combo system, and when we can charge up, we go into a kind of ultimate form where we do more damage, and we can do this really cool charge laser attack. Yeah, there's so much to unpack with this game. As we progress through the game, we do eventually find upgrades. Yes, we have got a roguelite style upgrading system in this game. Is there nothing that this game cannot do? Now that we've been through the tutorial, let's have a quick look at the actual main gameplay. We can choose different weapons. There's 4 different weapons to choose from. With each has different kind of attack patterns and things. I'm going to stick with the sword because, as you can see, it's the most balanced. There's different difficulties. So we've got super hard difficulty there, which I'm not even going to attempt. Extreme, hard, medium. I'm going to stick with easy though. Yeah, there is a lot of gameplay to uncover in this game. It's ridiculous. So each level is made up of various screens, and it's all kind of randomized, so you have to kind of explore each level. You can't just kind of get through it any way you want. And I'm realizing just how much I've forgotten about how the combat in this game works. Some of the levels don't have enemies but are more of a platforming challenge like this one. That's asking you to learn how the dash works. Here we are on the boss. Each boss is this weird looking titan thing. We have to attack this gem, and just look at what is going on in the background there. It's so weird, and I absolutely love it. The bosses are a real highlight of this game. I've got a fully charged attack now. Let's do that. Oh, that's very satisfying. After each level, you unlock some of the lore of the game, which you can read at your own leisure. There's so much of this game for me to show you in such a short amount of time. The key takeaway from this is that this is an incredible action platformer game for Pico 8. You need to check it out. It's amazing. The next game in my list is another shmup. It's a wonderful little shmup by Sparse Game Dev. It is Praxis Fighter X. Now, pay attention, because as soon as we start the game, we are into it. We have got one of the best starts to a Pico 8 game I've ever seen. We are just straight in here. A bit of visual storytelling here. This is a shmup with visual storytelling. How often can you say that? Yeah, so we've got a demonstration going on here. We have got some private security force or something. They're tear gassing the demonstrators. What are we going to do to stop them? We're going to steal a jet fighter. Of course we are. We're in a shmup. Of course we're going to have a jet fighter. Oh, the music. The music is good. So yeah, I suppose this is the title screen. We've got high scores. We've got press X to start. Very simple. once we get into the game then, we have got a spread shot like this. Look at that beautiful spread shot. How nice does that look? We have got enemy attack patterns, which we are going to have to learn if we're not going to die. We can hold down the alternate fire button and fire a bomb, which we can use to attack ground targets. This is such a good shmup. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of kind of Jamestown, that style of shmup. It's so good. The HUD over on the left and right side of the screen, very stylish. I love the vertical score there. Gives the game a kind of portrait look, but not quite. Oh, the animations, everything is beautifully animated. It looks so good. Yeah, all the enemies are so satisfying to shoot. They flicker with damage, the explosions. This is such a good shmup. Yeah, this is another shmup from the kind of Lazy Devs Academy Discord. It's just so polished. All of these shmups are so ridiculously polished. It's incredible. We've got a combo system. We've got a scoring system, I suppose you'd call it, which is where we can unlock the truly enormous scores. The trick is not to get shot down, and the trick is also to try and be continuously blowing things up to build up that combo and get the massive points. I do want to continue, so let's continue. It's just a single stage shmup. I think I've managed to get to the end boss, but I don't think I managed to beat the end boss yet. There's plenty of challenge in this game. Mastering the enemy attack patterns, mastering your bomb and your spread shot. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in this game. There's a lot of really good gameplay. The presentation is so good. All of the enemy kind of designs, these helicopters, those kind of vans, it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? The graphics kind of remind me of Gigawing, actually, if you've played that. An absolutely insane bullet hell shmup. But there's a couple of the levels in Gigawing where you're attacking a kind of base with lots of ground-based enemies. Yeah, this is in good company, this game. I'm just playing appallingly badly, though. The action is so fast. It's so much fun. It's ridiculously fun, this game. I love bombing things on the ground. You hold the bomb attack to kind of extend that rangefinder, and yeah, as you can see, it gives you lots of things to blow up, which is really nice. And yeah, I think I'm managing to build up a decent combo there. Yeah, the combo system, there's obviously a lot of skill in keeping that maintained and keeping a high combo to get high score. I am not that skillful to be able to really get the most out of this game. I really love the way that the background, the scenery kind of tells us what's going on in the game. We're here to destroy this kind of toxic waste pipe. It's such a great game. Let's see if I've got a high score from that appalling. Yes, I have. From that appalling bit of gameplay there. Yeah, this is a really solid shmup. The presentation of it is incredible. The graphics are so good. There's really nice music. Everything that you shoot kind of reacts and flickers. There's flame effects. The explosions look brilliant. So polished. It's such a good shmup. Go and check it out. Number 6 on my list is a wonderful card game heavily inspired by Game of the Year Balatro. Yes, of course, it is Solitomb. Let's load it up. So, Solitomb, another game which is clearly going to get an expanded release, so hopefully sometime in 2025. Very much looking forward to that. We can continue our progress, but I'm going to abandon that and start things from the beginning. So, so if we start a new game, we have got a few different characters to choose from, which have got different abilities which we can use during the game. I'm just going to choose the warrior. And I'm going to keep the difficulty nice and easy because this is a hard game. There's a lot of game to unpack in this. Some might say there is too much game in this. Yeah, one of the few shortcomings of this game, I think, is it's extremely overwhelming. It just needs like a tutorial or something. As I've already mentioned, though, tutorials are so hard to cram into Pico 8 games, and I'm sure when this does get an expanded release, that will have a tutorial and it will solve all of these problems. Anyway, without the tutorial, it basically means that there is just a little bit of a steep learning curve. But once you get past that, oh, this game, it unlocks, it unfolds itself to you, and it's beautiful. So we have got a solitaire style board here. We have to set up combos of cards, kind of like in poker. So we're sort of making poker hands, but it's sort of like solitaire as well. And if we look at this one here, we've got attacks, we've got defends, and we've got monsters that we are trying to defeat. Now, everything in this game has a tooltip, okay? When I said about the game lacking a tutorial, there is plenty of information in the game for you to work out what is going on. It is just a little bit overwhelming, but anyway, I've said enough about that. Let's get into the gameplay then. So, you build yourself up a lovely kind of poker hand. That's a straight, as you can see, and there's a little bit of flush in there as well. It's very permissive with what it counts as a hand here. So because I've got 3 of the same suit of cards there, it's giving me a little bit of a flush. That gives us a bonus to our attack. Let's just do that again. That gives us a bonus to our attack, which we can then use to fight the different enemies in the level. So that was just a fairly easy fight there. We've got some harder enemies to take on though, such as the giant undead. And you can see that gives us a reward actually when we defeat it. So as we progress through the game, we need to uncover cards, create these hands, create combos. It's yeah, a lot of depth in this game. It works so well. It's incredibly well kind of designed and well thought out. The amount of polish in the game is really what makes it stand out. Just like the fact that everything that you mouse over either animates or there's a tool tip. It looks fantastic. You've only got limited moves before you have to actually cash in a set of cards for a combo. So you've got to keep an eye on how many moves you've used, because after a certain amount of time, it does start costing you health. You do have powers though over on the right hand side, which you can use to even the playing field a little bit. So there are lots of options in this game. Like I said, there's a lot of depth to uncover. This should be a pretty good attack. Let's see what this gives me. Full house, plus 12. Let's see how that does. Look, everything is animated. So when you do an attack, it's all animated. Look at the little spin of the card when it's defeated and the little coin pop up. Oh, the polish in this game is ridiculous. It's so polished. Like, listen to the music as well. Once the music gets going, oh, it's so good. Yeah, this is a ridiculously polished game. It's no wonder that this is getting a full kind of commercial release, because it's yeah, this feels more like a demake than just a Pico 8 game, because there's so much depth in it. There's so much kind of gameplay. Yeah, really check this one out. One of the kind of sort of outstanding technical achievement games of the year. Yeah, Solitomb, everyone. Number 7 on my list is a little bit of a palate cleanser from the massive game overload which is Solitomb. We had roguelike, we had roguelite, we had poker, we had solitaire, we had a Balatro-like, we had upgrades, we had all of that polish, all that animation, all that music. We need something a little bit simpler. Samurise is a 2-button platformer endless runner. Elegantly simple, beautifully well presented. Let's give it a look. The game was made by Grim Ninja. What a nice little logo there. Here we are on the very relaxing title screen. Lovely bit of Mount Fuji there. And look at that lovely sunrise effect. This is a very nice looking game. If we go on to the achievements, there is a lot of speedrunner friendly goings on in this game. I'm not going to be getting any of this. Let's just see if I can show you as much of the game as I can. Oh, the music's nice, isn't it? So, when we start a new game, that is such a good title screen, by the way. Yeah, should we say title screen of the year? Maybe. Let's start a new game. So, oh, the transitions. So, we are a samurai. We've got a cat, but oh no, what's going to happen? This evil demon fella, look at him, what a nasty man, is kidnapping our cat. it's a catnapping, everyone. A perfect premise for any Pico 8 game, and now it's our job to get the cat back. We are going to return our cat or something. So we're in the game. This is a kind of endless runner. Our samurai happily bounces to and fro thusly. Now you may notice, very subtly, we have got a kind of inline tutorial. Lots of Pico 8 games choose this style of tutorial. It's a very easy way of doing it in Pico 8, and it works really well. Once we get into the game, it's an endless running single button on. I keep saying single button. It's not. It's 2 buttons. But you know what I'm getting at, don't you? It's sort of like those single button games. But yeah, you have just got to master the timing, master your samurai abilities, which is to either jump or to dash. The dash works for mobility, but it also works to attack enemies. And I am just completely failing at this section here. Oh man. This isn't the best game for me to like showcase it because I'm just horrendous at it. Right, we're back on track now. So we already have seen those little statue enemies that we have to fight. There are also these demon Oni fellas that we have to fight. When we do chop them with our samurai sword, there's a lovely shower of blood. Yeah, it's a wonderfully evocative game, this. It's so stylish and quite challenging as well, as you can see from my horrendous gameplay. That was forgiving. So yeah, I actually managed to make it to the checkpoint there, even though I immediately died. If you can get past this initial bamboo forest section, which I've been unable to, there is a whole like dojo section above, and there's an end boss. There's quite a lot in this game to unpack if you're actually good enough to unpack it, which evidently I am not. However, this game is so much fun. It's so well presented. I think it's really good having this after Solitomb because it shows you kind of how versatile Pico 8 is and how many different styles of games you can get on the system. You know, we can have an incredibly complex card game, but we can also just have this 2-button platformer, and both of them work really well and are really fun. Anyway, let's see if I can make a little bit more progress because there's not really a lot to say about this game that I haven't already said. It's beautifully well presented. The music, the graphics, the animation are really nice. I love the kind of Japanese setting. It's a really kind of unusual, unique setting for a platformer and a Pico 8 game. And yeah, it's just really good. This area here, this is like my nemesis, this area. This is where I spend most of my time screwing up screwing up this section. The level design is really well done. Each area, there's a kind of pattern to the jumps. I've watched videos or like clips, GIFs I suppose, of people actually playing the game skillfully, and there is a definite like rhythm in the levels, which is completely evading me, I might add. I've actually got to a new area. I've never got this far. So as you can see, I've ascended out of the bamboo forest, and then now in this kind of pagoda area. This is breaking new ground. Yeah, the level design in this is really well done, and the music as well. I love what's going on with this. I don't know what I'm doing on this bit though. I am on the God run here. This is as far as I've ever managed to get. The level design's really good because each kind of area, like I'm having to master that kind of long dash jump thing to ascend, which I haven't had to do on the earlier levels. So, you know, that's good level design right there. Oh, it's still challenging though. Anyway, Samurise is a great little simple platformer. Great level design, great presentation, and yeah, plenty of challenge to boot. Next up on my list is Tiny Hawk Pico Skater, which is a demake of Civilization. No, it's a demake of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, of course. Let's get it loaded up. So the game's made by Morgan Q Dev with music by Maple and Wasig Knight. And yes, it's Tony Hawk's, everyone. It's brilliant. Let's load it up. So yeah, all the features are here. We've got tricks, we've got scores that we have to try and aim for. This level that we're on here is Warehouse. We've also got City, School. So, you know, we've got like familiar Tony Hawk levels as well. I'm going to stick to Warehouse because I'm so basic. And yeah, let's just get into it. Look at that transition, like the spray paint. Oh, it's so good. So on each level, you've got 2 minutes to skate around and do tricks for points. It's Tony Hawk. You know how it works. What's remarkable about this game is how the game has been translated into a kind of isometric Pico 8 game. Because if I was going to try and make a Tony Hawk game, well, I wouldn't know where to start. And turning the game into this isometric style game, it's just so clever and it works so well. Okay, we've got all of the tricks in there, and we've even got like gaps. One of the gaps is jumping over the taxi like that. You can see there the taxi gap. So all of these features of the Tony Hawk series are present. I'm not sure what I have to get in this level. I think I need to get 10,000. I'm not going to get that to get the next level or the next kind of unlock. Yeah, you can chain tricks together to make little combos like so to get more points. There's grinding. Oh, there we go. I got a new... That was a new objective achieved there. So, yeah. It's Tony Hawk, but it's isometric and it's on Pico 8. What more is there to say? I can only assume that there were Tony Hawk games on the original Game Boy that were like this. I assume. Either that or Morgan Q Dev has just innovated how to make a Tony Hawk game on Pico 8. I don't know. So yeah, the presentation in this game is exceptional. The wonky font, it looks so Tony Hawk. Like the music is really kind of appropriate as well. Look at that kind of paint effect on the play again level select. The transitions, it's so... the attention to detail, it's so good. And there's that feedback loop of wanting to get the perfect trick, trying to learn like a new trick or a new combo. Like, I only realised playing the game for the video today that the grinding is present in the game. So like, so much of the game is intact. It's incredible. Does this count as a demake? Is it a demake? Kind of. Whatever it counts as, it's great, and you need to go and check it out. Tiny Hawk, Pico Skater. You see what they did with the name there? Isn't that clever? You do need to be able to do a kickflip though. The penultimate game on my list is a wonderful soccer band like. It's Trichromat, everyone. Let's get it loaded up. Oh, Trichromat. This game is so incredibly stylish. This weird, blurry RGB effect. Some people don't like it. I think it looks really cool. Yeah, it's a very clever game. Let's just get into it. I'll start on level 1. You can see this is how far I've managed to get. I'm going to start on level 1. So it's a soccer band game. We can move around on a grid, but look, we've always got that kind of weird flickering, that weird kind of spectral flickering effect. If we have a look at the, this is a cool little detail before I get into it. We've got CMY mode as well. So if you prefer RGB or CMYK, you know, the game has got you covered. I prefer RGB. Let's keep it with that. So yeah, the idea of the game, we've got these boxes. We need to push the boxes on top of each other to finish each level. That's a nice, easy one. As we get further in, things become a little bit more tricky. Yeah, it's gameplay-wise, it's kind of basic Sokoban. You know, we can push, we can't pull, and the levels are very small, and the levels can be quite cryptic as well. The first few levels start out fairly simply. It's a fairly straightforward Sokoban experience to begin with, like so. Things start to get a little bit more interesting though at level 6. When we start level 6, we have got this little email. There is a story in this little simple puzzle game. Yeah. Now we are not just one character, we are 3 different coloured characters, and we need to combine our colours together to be able to win the level. And yeah, the spectrum effect, it's such a cool effect. Yeah, really, really clever. So yeah, as we get further into the game, we are introduced to more fiendish styles of puzzles. As you can see, level 12 is where I got stuck, but I can show you level 11 because this is where things get even more interesting. So we've got a white block there, which has got all the 3 colours already combined, but we are separate at the moment, look. We've got our reds, our blues, and our greens not together. Now, oh. So the green ones can push the green blocks. So we've got like 3 puzzles all loaded up together here. And this is where things start to go rather mental and rather difficult. This is such a clever little puzzle game, okay? If you like Baba Is You, this is where things will start to get a lot more interesting for you, okay? Because, yeah, things get very challenging. So this is where I got up to. So this is where the spoilers end. You need to check this game out. If you like soccer bands, if you like Baba Is You, then check out this game because it's there's some very, very clever puzzles in this that I cannot figure out for the life of me. Anyway, Trichromat. Give it a look. The final game in my list, right at the end of the alphabet, is Zebulon, A Lost Cat by Newsan. A wonderful precision platformer, Metroidvania kind of game. It's mostly precision platformer. Let's get into it then. So here we are on the title screen. It's the title screen, everyone. How many times have I said title screen at this point in the video? So yeah, game mode. We have got many different game modes in this, which is really nice to see. I'm going to show you normal, but as you can see, we've got things like Deathless, 9 lives, half minute. This is very speedrun focused, this game. There are some incredible speedrun videos of this game, which you should check out. Very cool. I'm going to show you the basic version though, which is just normal, okay? So, Zebulon the cat wakes up in a strange place. He's lost, but he likes to explore, jump around, and eat everything he finds, just like a cat. So, yeah, we've got a story in the game, everyone. Let's get into it. It's a platformer. It's a position platformer. We've got to collect these green things. Now, there's some green things in the water down there. Oh dear, we can't jump in the water yet. We need to unlock some powers. The thing that makes this game challenging, besides the precision platforming, is there's only one checkpoint in the game. If you die, you go all the way back to the beginning. So this is a game very much aimed at people who are willing to put in the time and the effort to master everything and really unlock the speed of the game. Here's our first upgrade. It's wall climb. Yes, we've got lovely wall climbing ability now because we are a cat and we can do all sorts of cat-like agility things like climbing walls. The powers in this game are really fun, and the level design, I mean, a game like this lives and dies on its level design, and the level design is really good. You can see these kind of I don't know what they're supposed to be, kind of like these rough bits of the wall that we can climb up and down. I do like the way that we can just hang on. It's not like the wall climb that we have in most platformers like this, where you kind of slide down. I think that works really well. So yeah, these blue bits though, these are my nemesis. These are the slider bits where I'll get stuck. So yeah, it's just a really well executed precision platformer. You know if you like this style of game or not. I kind of like it. I have I have little patience for this style of game. Fortunately, this game doesn't outstay its welcome, so even I was able to complete this game in a reasonable amount of time, and then I just had my fill of the precision platformer there. As you can see, as we get through the level, we unlock new abilities. We've got a dash now, like so, which lets us get to those hard-to-reach areas. Can we dash up? No, just horizontal dashing. Ooh, another power-up. That was a quick one. We've got... I love it. The map is an unlockable. There we go. How do we get... There we go. There's the map. So, yeah, this game has a Steam release. This is one of those commercial Pico 8 games. It's not available on Splore, sadly. You do have to get it... You do have to get it via Steam. This is the one that's on the Switch, by the way. So if you want to play this on your Nintendo Switch, you can. Get a Pico 8 game on your Switch. Why not? Yeah, it's a really nice little precision platformer. You've got one giant level, as you can see there. There are secrets. Oh, there are secrets. I love it when platformers have secrets in them. Yeah, there's a lot to love in this game. It's really well executed. The platforming is really crisp. Lovely movement, and yeah, just presentation's really nice. It's got that kind of classic Pico 8 look, and very kind of simple block colours. The cat itself is really nicely animated, and yeah, just a really well-rounded precision platformer experience. Go and check it out. So that rounds out my list of 2024. 10 brilliant games plus 3 honourable mentions that you need to go and check out right now. Links are in the description as always. Please do check out the games. If you like the game, give it a rating, leave a nice comment for the developer. That really helps support the game. It will get it higher up in the kind of the algorithms on whatever site it is. If it's the BBS, the Splore, just resurrecting an old post by saying, I really like this game, will bring more eyes to it. If there's a game that you can pay for, like on itch or Steam or Switch, you know, support the developers. These guys are making incredible Pico 8 games for us to play, and it's really good to support things that we love. So thank you very much for watching this extra long video. Hope you have a wonderful 2025, and let's see if we can get some more brilliant Pico 8 games to play. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.